Artificial intelligence is nowadays everywhere, and in chess we are no strangers to it, as the top engines use it to handle and beat us. However, over the last few weeks a new model is making its impact, and it's called ChatGPT, which is a language model developed by OpenAI. This model is able to hold a conversation with you. It can answer your questions, it can admit its own mistakes, and in general you feel like you're talking to a real human. Of course it has some flaws, but who doesn't? And it's also free to use, all you need to do is just sign up. And so in this video I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna ask it some chess related questions. So first of all, as a warm-up, let's see if it knows what is chess.
Chess is a two-player strategy board game played on a chessboard, a square checkered board with 64 squares arranged in an 8x8 grid. The game is played by millions of people worldwide. Each player begins the game with 16 pieces, 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and 8 pawns. The goal of the game is to checkmate your opponent's king, which means the king is in a position to be captured, and there is no way to move the king out of capture. Players move their pieces according to specific rules, with the ultimate goal of setting up a position where the opponent's king can be captured. The game is won by the player who captures the opponent's king, or it can end in a draw if neither player is able to capture the other's king. Chess has been played for centuries, and is considered one of the oldest and most popular board games in the world. It is known for its deep strategy and complex tactics, and it is often used as a tool to teach critical thinking and problem-solving skills.
Okay, pretty good answer actually, as expected. Let's also see if it knows how to play chess.
Yes, I know how to play chess. The rules of chess are fairly simple and can be learned relatively quickly, but mastering the game can take years of practice and study. Here is a brief overview of the rules of chess. Each player starts with 16 pieces, 1 king, 1 queen.
Okay, slow down, I didn't ask you to tell me all the rules of chess. That's one problem I find with this model. Sometimes it gives too much answer, too much information. I only ask it if it knows how to play chess. Now it's just showing off, it's telling me all the rules. Which, okay, it's fair, I guess.
And the queen and king can move in any direction. When the player puts their opponent's king in a position where it could be captured, the opponent must try to move the king out of capture or block the attacking piece. If it is not possible to move the king out of capture, the game is over and the player who put the king in checkmate wins. The game can also end in a draw if there are no more pieces on the board, if the players agree to a draw, or if a certain number of moves have been made without a pawn being moved or a piece being captured. I hope this helps give you a basic understanding of how chess is played. If you have any further questions about the rules or strategies of chess, please don't hesitate to ask.
So let's move on to more interesting questions. Let's see if it can tell us who is the best chess player of all time.
There have been many talented chess players throughout history, and it is difficult to definitively say who the best chess player of all time is. However, one player who is often considered to be one of the greatest chess players in history is Garry Kasparov, a Russian chess grandmaster, who was the world chess champion. From 1985 to 2000, Kasparov is known for his aggressive and tactical playing style, and he has achieved many impressive victories in both classical and rapid chess. He was also the first player to break the 2800 ELO rating barrier, which is a measure of a player's chess skill. Other highly regarded chess players include Bobby Fischer, a former world chess champion from the United States, who is considered one of the strongest players in history, Magnus Carlsen, the current world chess champion, who has held the title since 2013, and Anatoly Karpov, a Russian chess grandmaster, who was the world chess champion from 1975 to 1985.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. But can you tell me what is the best move in chess?
It is difficult to identify a single best move in chess, as the optimal move will depend on the specific position of the pieces on the board and the overall strategy of the player. In chess, it is important to consider not only your own pieces and their movement options, but also the position and movements of your opponent's pieces. Generally speaking, some of the key factors to consider when making a move in chess are control of key squares or lines of attack. By occupying key squares on the board or attacking your opponent's pieces, you can limit their movement options and gain a strategic advantage. Development of your pieces. It is important to bring your pieces into the game as quickly as possible and to position them in such a way that they can support each other and coordinate their attacks. King safety. Your king is a valuable piece, and it is important to keep it safe from attack. Pawn structure. The position of your pawns can have a big impact on the overall structure of your position and the mobility of your pieces. Ultimately, the best move will depend on the specific goals of your overall strategy and the demands of the position. It is important to think carefully and critically about each move you make and to try to anticipate your opponent's responses and counter moves.
Some great advices here, especially for beginners. Of course, it couldn't tell us a single best move. It tends to overanalyze things, but it tries to give as accurate information as possible. Which is good. So another hot question, knight or bishop?
In chess, knights and bishops are both powerful pieces that can be used to control key squares, attack enemy pieces, and support your own pieces. However, they have some key differences in their movement patterns and the way they contribute to your overall strategy. Knights are capable of making L-shaped moves and can jump over other pieces, which makes them particularly effective at attacking enemy pieces that are tucked away in corners or behind other pieces. They are also useful for controlling key squares, particularly on the edges of the board. Bishops, on the other hand, can only move diagonally and are generally more effective at controlling long diagonals of the board. They are particularly useful for attacking enemy pieces that are positioned on squares of the same color as the bishop. When deciding between a knight and a bishop, it is important to consider the specific position of the pieces on the board and the overall strategy you are trying to pursue. In some cases, a knight may be more useful for attacking and controlling key squares, while in other cases a bishop may be better suited for supporting your own pieces and controlling long diagonals.
So no definitive answer about this question. But it's okay, it's hard to decide anyway. Fisher thought that the bishop is slightly better, and most people agree with that. But what ChatGPT answer if I ask it, does chess speak for itself?
In a way, chess can be seen as a language of its own with its own set of rules, symbols, and strategies. The moves of the pieces and the positions they occupy on the board can convey a great deal of information and meaning, both to the players and to those who are observing the game. However, chess is also a highly abstract and complex game, and it can be difficult for those who are not familiar with the rules and strategies of the game to understand what is happening on the board. For this reason, it is often helpful for players and commentators to provide verbal explanations or annotations of the game to help others understand the thought processes and decisions behind the moves being made. In this sense, chess does not speak for itself in the same way that a spoken language does, but rather it requires interpretation and explanation to be fully understood.
Okay, didn't get the reference. To be honest and to be fair to it, it has been trained on data prior to 2021, so it's not familiar with the recent events. So fair answer and pretty creative, I have to say. And speaking of creative, let's see if it can help me with the following request. Can you give me a banger YouTube video title for a chess related channel?
Here are a few ideas for catchy and attention-grabbing YouTube video titles for a chess-related channel. 5 minutes to chess mastery. Secrets of the Grandmasters revealed. Insane chess game. Can you beat this computer? Epic chess showdown. World champion versus chess engine. Chess strategy 101. Essential tips and tricks for beginners. Chess puzzle challenge. Can you solve these tricky positions? Chess mythbusters. Debunking common misconceptions about the game. Breathtaking chess combinations. The most beautiful and surprising attacks. Epic chess blunders. The most hilarious and embarrassing mistakes in history. I hope these suggestions give you some inspiration for your chess-related YouTube channel. Good luck with your videos.
Well, that's some pretty nice titles. Maybe I can use some of them in the future, why not? So that was a small introduction into ChatGPT. I think I'm gonna use it more in the future. There are so many things that it can be used for. Go check it out, it's pretty amazing as you have just witnessed. Let me know what you think of it. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of a video. So that was it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.